one-day internationals.
Our first close look at the 18th here on Saturday evening.
Beautiful finishing hole, 418 yards, playing as the most difficult hole on the golf course today.
While Michael Kim takes a look back to 17.
Malnati on the tee.
And I think this is the club most important for his development, the driver. Doesn't hit it very far, hitting less than 60% of the fairways on the year. Very nice tee shot right there. That's the club he's going to have to improve to play the PGA Tour successfully.
I mean, the reason he's playing well, although he's not hitting a lot of fairways, he's hitting a lot of greens this week. He's hit more than 75%.
And back to 18.
Got to be really careful with this front left hole location coming out of the rough. Just 21 years old.
Born in Seoul, lives now in Houston. Actually went to high school at Torrey Pines High outside of San Diego, La Jolla, California.
What A.W. Tillinghast has done so well at Lakewood is these really difficult holes are very open in the front. You've got some narrow corridors with the fairways. You get out of position. You have an option to run it up. I know we've had some rain, but you could bring it a little low, scoot it up that front. Get it beyond this flag stick, and it's a fast one back down the hill.
Left. 3 or 4 yards. Not much.
These kids have never had to deal with flies because of the change in the groove configuration. That's what I'd like to see maybe a little bit differently, but they expect the ball to go this right distance from these lies. And another beautiful golf shot. Controlled the distance well, controlled the spin. A great opportunity.
Now back at 17, Birch from just short of the green.
And straight uphill here, Steve. He's got to hit this one firmly.
Pretty good effort from down low there by Shane. Short one remaining to stay 13 under.
And I think par is a pretty darn good score here on 17. Patton Kizzire from about a yard in front of where Shane Birch putted from. Had to get some sand off the green. Someone must have played a bunker shot before him. But he should have learned quite a bit from watching Shane's ball roll up there. Just, if anything, slight amount of break to the left. It's all about the pace here.
Oh, how about that?
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, I love to see that intensity.
Yeah, there's a little fire there.
Yeah, that's a bonus birdie right there, but love to see the fire. You can tell a lot from a man's facial expression and the look in his eye. And there's one thing on this man's mind. He's got number one on the money list. He's looking for a victory. Stealing one here, Steve.
Certainly coming off a bogey at the short par 3 16th. Wasn't too thrilled with his second here at 17, but when you roll him in from that distance, that's a Band-Aid that cures all.
Look at that intensity. You know who I saw intensity in his eyes we hadn't seen before? Ricky Fowler coming down the stretch of the Players. You know, that poll had come out that he was overrated and he wanted to prove a lot of people wrong. I think this man wants to prove that he's good enough. We know he's great, but to win is another feather in the cap.
Well, it's almost validation of all the hard work and all the great finishes to sort of take it to that next level.
That look right there says, oh, that's a look of a champion right there.
Now Brian Ritchie from back left-hand portion of the screen for birdie.
Yeah, and I think he'd be less than happy that he's left it in this position, Steve. Tricky little downhiller.
That one got away from him just a little bit, Jane. You were right.
Yeah, I mean, that was really an unforced error with that club in his hand. He had to leave that below the hole. And even though he'll more than likely make a par, you just could not be aggressive with that putt. But that's all a learning process, Craig, isn't it?
It is. And, you learn from each round, each tournament. I think the good ones go back and chart notes and so they can refer to them in the future.
Well, he's right in the mix of this tournament, so perhaps there was a little adrenaline. Maybe just pulled it a tad. Giving this one the utmost respect, I'd say it's at least 2.5 feet.
So good 2-putt par at 17 for Brian Ritchie. He remains 12 under. 2 shots off the lead of Peter Malnati. Unfamiliar territory for this rookie, but holding in his own nicely as third round action. The Rust-Oleum Championship winding down here on Golf Channel.
At the 18th tee, Kazire at 12 under.
Iron is a smart play here for Patton. Struggling off the tee this week. He's only hit 48% of the fairways. It's nearly dead last.
Well, this one's in good position down the right side, Craig.
Yeah, good angle. Left hole location.
Back at 17, Malnati getting ready for his second.
168, 7 iron, uphill, slight breeze in his face.
Lean is from get it to go from right to left. Beautiful golf shot from our leader.
Michael Kim, this for birdie at the 18th.
Snuck it in that left edge. Shoot. 66 today, bogey free.
Some threes are better than others. That was out of the right rough at 18. Back-to-back rounds of 66. And he is 1 shot off the lead. Back to the tee. And Brian Ritchie.
And opting to go with the hybrid here.
There's a bunker sort of tucked into that left-hand side of the fairway. There's a hazard down to the right. Anywhere in play is good.
You can go to PGAtour.com/webcom for the best in Web.com Tour coverage, all the insider information you need with Web.com Tour Power Rankings and the Web.com Tour Insider, PGAtour.com/webcom. And back to the tee, Shane Birch.
And this looks like a 3-wood, guys, to me from here.
Yeah, I think you're right. He likes to cut it, and that sort of goes against the shot of this hole. That looks like it was out to the right.
Yeah, he's drawn this one back a little bit, though.
Well,
it's a good effort.
Very nice. He's got all the shots.
3 in the fairway as the sun begins to recede here in Westlake, Ohio. Late third round coverage at the Rust-Oleum Championship. Today's coverage is brought to you by Rust-Oleum. You say it, we build it. It's as easy as web.com. Time now for our golfnow.com shot of the day, round 3 at the Rust-Oleum Championship. Patton Kazire for birdie at 17, wobbling a little bit.
Coming off the bogey at 16 emphatically, and I love the reaction. Take that, 17.
His 4th birdie of the day, and it does erase the bogey at 16. Golfnow.com shot of the day. Part of the penultimate group here in round 3. They are in the fairway at the 18th.
And this hole's only located 7 on and just 5 off the left. Patton's facing a shot of 172 to the front, 179 to the hole. Uphill, it's a 7-iron.
All right, so he's 2 back. He's just coming off a brilliant birdie at 17. We look at the hole location, just 5 from the left. Stuff this one in there close, finish with back-to-back birdies, and gather a lot of momentum going into Sunday.
Just a little bit of a breeze from the left. There's a well-struck shot going right at it, Craig.
Oh, man, a little unlucky. It might have just hit the fringe, but putt uphill.
Now back at 17 after the wonderful approach. Malnati for birdie.
Break sharply to the left.
So I think he had it read very nicely, but he just hit it with a little too much speed. He knew it immediately. Sort of with that much break that Phil Blackmar took, you sort of want to dive in there.
Now back to 18.
Brian Ritchie in the fairway.
Also 7-iron from 4 yards closer than Patton Kizzire.
He's got a nice flow to his golf swing. You know, it's not restricted. It's not, you know, a lot of width. And you see the handsy sort of players are good ball strikers. They can shape the shots both ways. I've seen a little bit of that from Brian Ritchie today. Come out of that one, lost it to the right. He was sort of guarding against short-siding himself in another one of these bunkers that protect the left side of the green.
Shane Birch now shot of 163 yards after a beautiful 3-wood.
Preferred lies today in closely mown areas, 1 club length, so Shane taking full advantage of that.
This hole's only 5 off the left, so can't afford to miss it left. A little bit of breeze from that direction as well.
So he's comfortable hitting it left to right. He shaped it right to left off the tee. You think he's going to try and do that to that left hole location again here with his second, Jane?
I think that's what he should do.
Yeah.
Whether or not he will.
Can he do it? That's right.
Yes, indeed. That's the shot to play. He's kind of fanned this out to the right as well.
And we missed the iron shot way to the right on the previous hole, so back to back. Maybe late in the day, 45 years old, the legs maybe not quite as sturdy as they are early on.
Final group now on the tee at the 18th, and Vanderwalt.
Looks as though he's going with the long iron here, just trying to put it in play. That was the club he used every time in the playoff last year in that 11-hole playoff.
I'm going to leave him a lengthy second, but where he got off track, bogeys at 7, 8, 9, and 10. He fought back with to get to 1 over for the round, 9 under for the tournament. Well, Phil, he's going with driver.
He is. He's not, like I said, he's not the longest driver out here.
Little draw right here, finishing on the left side of that walking bridge there, crossing range.
It's an aggressive play, certainly.
Yep, so the line here is just on that cart path, just inside the scoreboard, but it runs out. He can, with this club, if he loses it to the right, this can be very dangerous. Has it over there.
Thank you.
Yeah, good shot there.
You know what he actually said about this golf course after the first round? He said it's framed so nicely. And as I'm looking at the hole, it tells me what sort of shot I want to do. Good execution there.
Still got a little bit of sunlight left here on the west side of Cleveland. Final group making its way up 18. Had lengthy delays both yesterday and today. They were scheduled to come back at 7 a.m. Couldn't start until 10 a.m. to finish the second round, but back on schedule here with Ritchie at the 18th.
A putt across the green, at least 45 feet here for Brian.
It's good speed.
Very good speed. Tap that one in, shoot 68 today, and be 2 back of Malnati's lead. He is a rookie out here, so got a chance to win for the very first time on the Web.com Tour tomorrow.
Only 1 bogey on the card for Brian Ritchie today. Same is true for Shane Birch.
I've been very impressed with how he's played so far today. 45 years of age, he's playing with a lot of energy and a lot of consistency. His putt's about 30 feet.
Chance to share the lead. He's got so much experience. He's played nearly 500 events combined on this tour and the PGA Tour.
Wow. That just breaks your heart.
A great effort. That's all you say. You just basically you say, watch this thing start to break late. At this point, you're going, just sneak in that right edge. But you say, I hit as good a putt as I could. It just did not go in, and accept it and sign your card for 68 and move on.
$13 under par for Shane Birch. 4 birdies and 1 bogey on the card today for that 68 at the par 71 layout. Now see if Kazire can go back-to-back with birdies after that bogey at 16.
Well, he's left this in a good spot. Just right on the front fringe, so putt of about 20 feet uphill. Doesn't look like it's going to do a huge amount, Craig, from my position here.
Yeah, I wouldn't think that. There may be a little influence from this bunker. So maybe if, sorry, I'm a little late there, but
Maybe a whisker left to right.
yeah, don't give the hole away because you've got to be hit it firmly.
Oh, it just kind of wandered left, but he didn't hit it firmly enough. It was a good-looking 7-iron from the fairway, just a half a club short.
Well, that's the guy that he's lurking on the leaderboard currently 2 back, and when you start tomorrow, you'd have to think that you have a really good chance to win for the first time. Already with 4 top 5s on the season.
Ritchie for his par.
Yeah, you just don't want to do, just take care of business right here. You'd hate to finish on a bad note, leave a sort of a sour taste in your mouth. Just played rock solid all day.
Okay. 68 as well. 2 behind Malnati as they head to the final round on Sunday. See that bright red shirt back there in the fairway? That's Van der Walt.
He's got 174 yards, a light breeze from the left. It plays uphill. Last year in the playoff, it was a 7-iron every single time.
That's true.
Iron off the tee, 7-iron to the green. So we're going with the 7-iron.
All right. Full location right on his hat. So he was aiming, which he has been all day, trying to turn it, and came across another one.
He's been right off the tee and left with his approaches.
His alignment is very poor right now, aiming way, way off. Yeah, so let's just stop right here, because here's the whole location's back here, and if you look at his feet and his club, he's way over here to the right. So what do? Your tendency is you subconsciously, as you get to the top of the swing, you sort of look out of your left eye and go, I've got to get it over to the left sometimes, and then your body sort of slows down, your arms take over, and you pull it.
Dustin Bray.
154 yards, not been his best day, but a learning experience, something that he can build on, certainly. He's looked a little uncomfortable today with the pace of some of his shots. little better here coming in, and a nice shot there.
Yeah, right over the flag. Should that end with a birdie.
Yeah, he's even par on the day, but he's been on a ride, as Phil alluded to. He's got a double and 2 bogeys on the card to go with 4 birdies. So he's not out of touch. He's tied for 8th, 4 back right now.
Malnati's got 134.
Just let the wind push it to the right a bit, just a little. Yep. Right at it, good straight one. Perfect club.
Well, I guess that's why you drive it that way down there. This probably should just be a 9-iron or a wedge, Phil.
Yeah, just a wedge. And you know what he's done, Craig, is he's turned a par hole into a birdie hole with that aggressive play off the tee.
Great point. Just about jarred it for 2, and he'll have a straight uphill putt for his birdie.
He said perfect club. Alicia said, yep. She hands him the putter, and off we go.
That's good caddying.
You know, she was a college gymnast, and so she said she could handle the physical part of caddying, and he's sort of just given her a tutorial about how to really be a good part of the team.
I seem to recall that he gave her a test run at one point. Gave her the bag and loaded it up with bottles of water, and just to see how she would handle it, and she passed with flying colors, and it's been a pretty good team.
It has been a great. It'd be interesting if she stays on the bag as they get to the big tour next year. I wouldn't see why that wouldn't happen. Sometimes players make a mistake. They go out there, they look for veteran caddies, or they don't take the guys they've had success with over here on this tour, and sometimes that could be a mistake.
Well, you look at Jordan Spieth taking Michael Greller, someone that helped him caddy for the very first time, and won a second junior amateur championship when he was just 17, and the success 3 or 4 years later, unparalleled. But it's a comfort level.
Well, if you're a rookie, if you've got a veteran caddy, he can actually tell you where to stay and where to eat, and some of those things help make it more comfortable. But he's going back to the tour for the second time. He sort of has beginning to learn the ropes a little bit, if you may.
And by the way, the husband and wife thing worked out pretty well for Patrick Reed for the first couple of years of his career.
Yeah, until she got pregnant.
That's right. And she had other things to worry about. All right, Vanderwalt from the bunker.
Not much green to work with here. A little bit of an uphill lie really helped out there.
The big fella, 6'5", 250, got some good touch around the greens.
To continue your conversation about caddies, how important they are, I was talking to Ralph Hackett, who's caddying for Hao Tong Lee this morning, and he's a veteran caddy. He's been around for a long time, and some of the things he was saying that he was trying to help Hao Tong with were I mean, it's really invaluable to have someone on your bag like that if you're a young player and haven't been around very long yet.
I agree wholeheartedly. I know my rookie year on the PGA Tour, I looked for a veteran guy. I wanted a guy that had been out there 10 or 12 years to sort of point me in the right direction. But sometimes a lot of these young guys now are bringing their college, teammates or so on along because of the comfort factor. Not much in this one, Phil, for Malnati. Straight up the hill?
Straight up the hill. If anything, it looks like the grass is leaning a little bit to his left, so if it does anything, it might move just a fraction left. He's really rolled the putter well today, all year. That putt on the last hole was kind of an exception.
This for a 2-shot lead going into Sunday.
Usually when you back off like that, either someone moves or you're not comfortable with how your feet feel once you get in there, and that little bit of indecision sometimes can be major.
Yeah, he did look a little perplexed. Got some intensity going on as well in Peter's eyes.
It's a pretty strong finish.
Yeah, absolutely, Phil. Bookending birdies. He birdied 1, He birdied 18.
He's birdied 18 all 3 rounds. 64, 67, 67.